Therese Bonny is a remarkable woman in history whose impact on the photojournalism world paved the way for women and gender equality. Born in 1897, Bonny, a native of Syracuse, New York, studied at the University of California, Harvard, and Columbia before receiving her doctorates at Sorbonne in Paris. While in Paris, Bonny established an American Red Cross correspondence exchange program between children in France and the U.S., and in 1925 she started to work with the French decorative arts and collected other artworks. This led her to create the first American Illustrated Press service, aka the Bonny Service, which supplied works to newspapers in 33 different countries. Her work collecting others' arts and photos inspired Bonny to start beginning to photograph herself. In the 1930s, she made her mark in the photographing world by photographing French people and royalty. She placed these photos in an exhibition at the Georges Petit Gallery under the title Gay 90s. It accurately portrayed and preserved the characteristics of Edwardian Europe and Victorian fashion. After the art tour ended, the exhibition was published as Remember When. The exhibition led her to receive the role as director of the French art at the Rockefeller Center, but this caused Bonny to feel tied down, unable to truly express her artistic abilities. This led her to take matters in her own hands and begin to take photos herself. In 1939, she took the photojournalism world by storm by photographing the Vatican. In that same year, while taking photos at the Finland Winter Olympics, the Russian-Finland War broke out. While bombs dropped, Bonny hid in snowbanks, taking photos of the battles. She was rewarded Finland's highest honor, the White Rose of Finland. She returned to France just as the Nazi invasion began in June 1940. While she was there, she helped evacuate refugees, and the army granted her full privilege in the war zone and a photographer of the French army. Her photos are some of the only photos ever taken, especially in regard to the Battle of Meuse. She returned to the U.S. with photos of war and arranged them within the Library of Congress titled To Whom the Wars Are Done. Her photos were so powerful that she received grants from the Carnegie Corporation and the Department of Congress to return to war. And in February 1941, she did so. From the year February 1941 to 1943, she traveled Europe documenting plights of families ravaged by war. Making her way through Portugal and Spain after the Spanish Civil War brought starvation to young children and their families, she returned back to the U.S. with these images collected in a photojournal titled Europe's Children. But people who viewed these images were so shocked, describing Bonny's images as truth raids. Publishers were so shocked they wouldn't publish it as Europe's Children, leading Bonny to take matters in her own hands and publish them on her own. Bonny was honored in the Academy Award-winning film The Search and a propaganda comic called Photo Fighter. Bonny's impact on the photojournalism world, and by being the first of its kind, paved the way for women all around the world. Traveling across the Atlantic a total of 104 times, Bonny's images struck the hearts of those who viewed them and gave an insight on the truthful impact of war. Bonny will be remembered in history as one of the first women ever in war.